Madras. Hey. Free cadet. Boom. I like it. Chrome. They ready? Tell them. Do that for me.
In fact, you didn't land in the city of Johannesburg, you landed in the city of Ekurhuleni. The district of Johannesburg is made up of 5 major metropolitan districts. At the center of it is the city of Johannesburg with 5.5 million people. To the east, where we are now, on this poverty and advantage. Just as we go over the ridge here now on the left, you're going to be seeing one of the first townships, Alexandra Township. Inside
more than welcome. And this is how they greet each other. Sawubona, unjani, siyaphila. That's hello, how are you doing? I am fine. Please, let's stand the chief by saying Siyabonga Nkosi.
Siyabonga Nkosi.
Siyabonga Nati. The cattle crawl in the middle of the village. In this village, to marry a lady, you pay 11 cows, and you can marry as many ladies as you can afford. There is no limit. No cows, no wife. More cows, more wives. But more wives, whenever you throw it to the enemy, it will make it sound like pa, 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 pa. So that's when it got the name Isipapa, because of the sound it makes. When King Shaka Zulu took over, he realized that his father was a coward by using the long throwing spear. Because you can throw the spear to the enemy, miss the target. The enemy can take the same spear, throw it back to you. Then you can be killed by your own spear. So King Shaka Zulu introduced the short stabbing spear and the big shield. They'll run as fast to the enemies, close the big shield, open it. When they open it, identify the kitchen with the openings all around till the other side, allowing the smoke to come out whenever they're cooking or brewing the traditional beer. And the lady down this side, she's weaving the grass mat, ikanti. During the day, they sit on the mat. At night is their mattress, they sleep on it. This is the most important.
Dinner was served buffet style, and I decided to try some pap and gravy, fried cabbage, some spinach, which was amazing. I also tried some of the ostrich goulash, as well as some stewed crocodile, which both of them was surprisingly delicious as well. I didn't try to get too crazy. Okay. And pork. when the citizens share their views on the Constitution and on their judicial system, they speak very highly of it, which is not very common back in the States, given that our Constitution is very outdated and not progressive at all. Unfortunately, while at the court, I did not capture a lot of footage inside or outside and that's mainly because I was in awe for most of it. Just taking it all in and being appreciative of the moment and not trying to live behind my camera lens or my phone. After leaving the court, we headed to the Apartheid Museum, where we weren't allowed to take any photos or video footage inside. This was actually, I appreciated this because it forced us to live in the moment and really appreciate their history, but also have a certain level of respect for what they went through. Apartheid was a very painful moment in history for South Africa, so this is not a place where you should have been jumping to film or take a lot of photos. I know sometimes you want to highlight some of the things you see, but I was very appreciative for just being there and being able to listen to the tour guide who did a phenomenal job of explaining it, and it was also someone who lived during that time period. Of people of color, you could see the connection between the two. And when we visited the memorial, it was shared with us that people were only knowledgeable of what was going on in South Africa, well, in Soweto at that time with the high school students, because the photographer was able to get one photo and spread it to multiple media outlets, because that was something that the government was suppressing at that time. And when you think about the police shootings back in the United States, it's a very similar story to an extent, where most of the ways we find out through the internet from individuals who are able to capture that footage and post it. Is not shared by the main media outlets back in the States. But that concludes the day. So last night, I was planning on doing my day one reflection, but my camera died and my phone was on the charger, so it just wasn't really feasible and it was late. So I'm gonna combine my day one and day two reflections. Yesterday, I really enjoyed the opportunity to go to the village and get the introduction to South Africa and how society came to be and the culture, the combination of all the different tribes. We learned about five different tribes in Pacific. So I really think that was a good way to set the tone for the trip, because it gives you that background story before you really take the deep dive into contemporary history and what's going on not really present day, well, apartheid, and then moving forward present day with the entrepreneurial and innovation culture that's going on in Africa now. So overall, I really enjoyed it. And then the dinner, surprisingly, was really good. The ostrich and the crocodile threw me off on the menu when I looked at it, but when I tried it, it was actually good. I didn't get seconds because I didn't want to get too crazy and then get sick, but I enjoyed it. The dessert was fairly good. I didn't like the pudding thing. The consistency threw me off, but I don't eat stuff like that back in the States, so that wasn't a surprise. The cheesecake was good. The tart with the filling was good. And then it was nice to end the night with some bonding activities with the group and just get to know some of the students, because I know we went through the semester and we spent time together throughout the semester in class, but not enough to where I was able to really, I didn't even know everybody's name, honestly. So it was just good to spend some time with the students outside of that. Day 2, I woke up early, got a good start to my day. It was able to go to breakfast. I think the day was, it was jam-packed with a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of history, but it was very beneficial. It was definitely some interesting interesting events throughout the day. You know, just the lunch being so, every lunch went by so quick, and I think that just put a lot of stress on the day. For the second half of the day, it might have shifted the morale, but overall it was still good to get an understanding and to visit a lot of the places. For the first half of the day, going to the court, that was, even though we weren't allowed inside of the courtroom because of the construction and stuff, I still felt the emotional connection. And then our guy did a great job of explaining the historical context to it. Leaving there and going to the Apartheid Museum, I think that was one of my highlights of the day, the Apartheid Museum, because it just connected everything that we talked about, even from the second half of the day and from what we've heard on the bus and some of the stuff I knew prior to coming to South Africa, having had read read about Nelson Mandela and just reading up on a lot of the stuff that happened in 1976 with the students in Soweto. So the Apartheid Museum, I really enjoyed it, and then being able to connect it to some of the stuff that, you know, we face in the States, in America. So I enjoyed that. And of course I enjoyed going to Nelson Mandela House and then seeing a lot of the locals come out and how they interacted with Americans, and you could see them knowing that this is a tourist attraction and really trying to optimize it. Honestly, that's a smart move, you know, entrepreneurship and trying to make business. I think that's good. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed day 2, and I'm looking forward to day 3. So, the trip to Google concluded all of our business trips here in Johannesburg, which allowed us some free time to visit the Lion Safari Park, which was amazing. But about the business trips, so the law firm was actually, although I anticipated it being one of the more not so exciting and lively visits, it actually turned out to be one of my favorite business visits in Johannesburg because the presenter, who was not the original planned presenter, brought a lot of personality, was very approachable and easy to have conversation with and ask questions, and I think the group took advantage of that. And going to the accelerator out in Johannesburg, which was on the outskirts, that trip was pretty short, but I enjoyed the tour, and she was able to answer a lot of the questions and to see the varying businesses that the entrepreneurs of South Africa was embarking on was exciting as well. I think the one with the traffic light caught my attention, and I saw one lady who was doing handcrafted bowls, and the agriculture really got my attention as well. The Google trip was a great way to end it. And get the conversation about what's going on in the startup ecosystem, a little more tech related. The other businesses we talked about and we were introduced to were not as tech driven. So that concluded that, and it packed up our trip to Johannesburg. When we arrived at Cape Town, we had a pretty much a free day. So the group went out and grabbed a quick lunch. And then later that night, we got back together and was able to explore the ports, which was beautiful with the lights at night, and have a nice quick dinner. We didn't have a big heavy meal because we already ate late that day, but it was a nice scenery and it gave us some time to walk around and get familiar with the place before we started our shopping the next day. Bridges doing? She's trying to help her get the hair down for the photo.
Hold on. When they holding down their hats and
Working in threes. This photo better be fire. But have a good photo. It better be worth it.
Dr. Cornelius was holding Dr. McBride's hat down. Dr. McBride was holding her hair down. Go back. Hold on. It's not.
So now we heading down the stairs from the tower. It's beautiful. It's a nice walk, but no, baby, this might not be it. And with the shades, I'm like the three blind mice. I can't see. Looking it up. I'm trying to see which path do I take. Which path do you think would be better for pictures? That one or that one?
Honestly.
Yeah, that looks like, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, we gotta go that way.
Everybody rushed that way. I was like, hold on. My Instagram eye came through.
Well, that's great that they went that way.
So it's not crowded.
Yeah.
So lunch was good. Lunch was good. It was a heavy lunch. Wound up packing like half of my meal. Dang, I left my food for to go. And now I have to go back and get it. Dang. If I would have never pulled out the camera, I would have forgot my whole meal. Arriving to Cape Town, we can notice that it was definitely more of a tourist destination. And that's nothing to complain about. We definitely enjoyed it. The trips that Sarah took us on that first full day we had were, all the views were amazing and beautiful. It's like not at one moment that I want to put my camera down. The next day Cape Town was definitely way more laid back and relaxed on the schedule. So the next day we had free time as a group to go and just do everything we wanted to do. So my group decided to go to Tabletop Mountain. We went to the beach and then we took some pictures in front of the colorful houses. And then we went out to eat at Mama Africa. And the food was amazing. First destination of the day is the mountain. The other destinations, we still working out the kinks. Ran into some problems traveling in a group of this size and booking things the day of. So beautiful, guys. Breathtaking. Excuse me. No, you're fine. Them New York legs had to kick in. I hate walking slow. Oh, it's so beautiful over here. I might just have to flick it up. Dang, it's crowded.
Oh, not a me, right?
What happened? Visitors with tickets, visitors without. What you saying?
It says it's over there, but I'm thinking, should we just get them?
Where are they going on that line?
I think she's there's somebody right there holding the line. So maybe she's letting them go when this group is done. Oh, let's just go straight to the ticket office? Sure, I'm with that too.
All this, you know, like you need a ticket. Let's go to Teller 1. Teller 1.
Yeah, this line operation is a little crazy.
Okay. Guys, you want to buy tickets? Come this way, please. This is the right way.
I thought we was about to finesse. Hot. I want to be standing on line.
I don't think so.
I'm about to duck under. Yep, that's a vibe. There we go. And I found some shade. Thank you. She said that's good.
I'm gonna do a video.
Photo shoot out right here.
I see. Okay.
Everybody made it to the isolated rocks.
We are on Tabletop Mountain,
not the intro to the video.
living my best life.
Living my best life. Hey.
Living
Thank you.
my best life. That's a fun one.
Everybody's trying to get them angles. This is first of all, we're not even supposed to be on this side of the rock. Let's talk about that part. No? Okay, with the off guard looking off above. Looking far into the distance.
It looked good. It looked good. All right, I'm good. I'm good.
She was over there looking over yonder.
Should I take some of the
Excuse me. Not following the marching band up the street. Hey, hey. Oh, there goes our American comrades taking photos. Oh, this taxi's not slowing down, baby. He got car insurance because
I looked at them because we both looked at him like this, kind of sideways, and she looked at me like, stop, stop. I don't look good with this caramel. Green.
No, you gotta blend in with the green. You need a yellow and an orange.
Blue or the yellow, yeah. I gotta do yellow. I'm gonna do the yellow too.
I like warm color. We'll probably get in front of that yellow, that orange, and call it a day. Yeah. I think orange looks good. Let's get it.
Perfect.
What size bottle you want?
smaller ones? Just the cup. And for you?
I'll have a ginger ale. Are you asking her what she recommends?
Another meat.
Yeah, you can choose between chips. Okay.
Can you explain that down here? We can't hear you.
The other thing is they're asking if what she was asking about the oxtail curry.
Mhm.
I'm telling her she can have it with rice, either pap, mausha, or chips.
What is pap? Pap.
It's maize meal.
Okay, man. And what is the second one? Mkusho?
Mausha, it's
Yeah.
and beans.
Beans? Oh, okay.
Corn. Oxtail curry or lamb stew.
I've never had oxtail.
Never had oxtail? Yeah, oxtail is good.
But it depends on is it squishy
It
or
is.
tender? Or
It's like tender, yeah, and it's like supposed to pull off the bones.
similar to like a beef.
Yeah, like a stew beef is similar to that. But they're using it with like a curry.
Yeah.
So have you ever had curry, like curry chicken?
I've only had like Japanese.
Oh no, this is gonna be far from Japanese curry.
But then I don't know that I always taste like Jamaican like.
Yeah,
Well, I love Jamaican.
yeah. So that's.
Styles. I don't know if
But I heard African oxtail is a little rougher than what I'm used to than Caribbean. But it's still supposed to be tender and
I don't want to
same
say
seasoning.
get chicken because you know it's chicken.
They had something over here with some, like a whole different, the African platter. It had like
And you
fish,
said
ostrich.
oxtail curry is really popular. What else? Lamb stew.
I do love lamb stew.
She loves the lamb stew.
But you know, most of the people, of the customers usually take the oxtail.
Really? Is it? I've never had oxtail, so is it like a squishy meat or is it tender? Like
It is, but it's in bones. You understand? So it's like squishy meat, yeah, like that. But small portions of meat. You can have it with rice, pap, mausha, or chips.
oh okay.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna get. The lamb stew don't sound bad either.
Did you get a pasta?
I love meat, so okay. With the oxtail. I'm just going to go on first. So Shirab, she was making me choose between the pastas and the oxtail, right? So, like my favorite, as I said, is a lamb stew. Most of the customers that come, usually they order the oxtail.
But okay, I don't want to get. What would you say is like? Nah, I know what I get. It's okay. I don't want to make it too difficult. Yeah. That's our bread. What are you doing? That's our side of the table. We about to cut that into fours.
Technically, she is y'all side of the table, so give us our bread back.
No, we don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. They're about to go to work on this bread. I'm not familiar with this bread. I don't understand. some good conversations.
Don't walk up and don't talk to my video.
Nobody told you to get your video next to me. So everybody thought they were being slick because they thought that the squid wasn't going to be fried. They thought it was going to be grilled. So they was like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to try the squid. As you saw, I still ordered the squid. They ordered beef and it ended up being raw. And they did not enjoy it at all. It was not a hit amongst the group. And what else did I do today? I think that concludes the day. You talking about Dad Justin over there making sure everybody makes it to the bus safely? Not doing a head count. Father Justin.
So, we about to go to the after party.
Always ready to push the after party. The after party.
The after party.
After party.
Yes.
We're ready for the after party.
After party.
Stay tuned.
Oh, this lighting is not bad though. Period.
Because baby girl. Well, we get on the bus, you guys.
Right, the bus ride is gonna be short, and I'm gonna take a nap. So that's that.
I'm not napping. I done did like 10
50
hours
naps
of
a
naps
nap.
today.
You can never get enough naps. I
I'm
told you this
energized
already.
right now.
Oh, you can never have enough.
Then again, I just ate, so I might time
That
to
food
nap
going
a
you.
little bit. Talk to y'all later.
Those lights are so pretty right there.
No more music? Ice me out. Ice me out. Ice me out. Ice me out.
Kill your dad.
Ice me out. Ice me out.
I want Tiffany. I want
Okay.
Yes.
All that is. See? So before I end the night, we had a great ride back from the restaurant. We had a great ride back from the restaurant. Over dinner at the restaurant, we was able to have a great conversation with Dr. Spade. It's been great. You can see in the distance the mountains, the city, the ocean, the Ferris wheel. We're probably gonna conclude the night with a small get-together and gathering of everybody that was on the trip. So I'm looking forward to that. Right now we're on the rooftop. You can hear some of the people out in the distance, but it's really been beautiful and it's been a great experience. It's a bittersweet moment. It's the last night, guys. It's the last night. Back to the States after this. Low-key miss my bed. Low-key know I'm gonna miss Africa. So it's just ready to book the next trip. That's all it comes down to. But I'm grateful for the opportunity and I can't wait for next time.